Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Damna, lead vocalist for Elvenking, to the program today. How you doing?
Hi Lance, I'm very good, thank you.
You guys have a new album, came out just recently on AFM Records. I have a copy of it. It is fantastic stuff. I listened to it just this morning. Reader of the Runes is Divination is the name of it. Concept album, fabulous album.
Thank you so much.
I like to approach as I'm a new fan who's never even, looking for some new music. They're out to the music store. They're flipping through, CDs or albums, whatever. They've gone by the Ed Guy and Electric Circus and stuff like that. And they've come to this band called Elvenking. And they pick it up and they look at it. And the first thing you notice is the name. Can you tell me a little bit about the name Elvenking?
Well, that was a name that we, came up with when we were kids. It was back in 1997. And, we were, of course, big Tolkien fans. And in a time where, the movies weren't out yet, there was just the book, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, of course. And we were big fans of, fantasy literature and, of course, of Tolkien. So we were, all thinking about a name for the band. And Elvenking was one of the characters. And especially it was... an image, a drawing made by Tolkien himself on the Hobbit book, which was the Elvenking Gate. And, we were kind of, fascinated by the name and the image, and, that's where the name comes from.
Excellent. And then I look at the cover art, and this is just fantastic. I love the imagery and the way you can perceive it. There's so many different things here to look at. Can you tell us a little bit the concept and where this came from and how it came about?
Yeah, well, starting from the cover artwork, as you say, it was a marvelous work by the artist Sofia Dankova, who was able to, put in one image, a very strong image, all the aspects of the story, of this part of the story, because as you may know, this is the first part of a longer concept story, which will be developed in 3 parts in all. And this first part is like an intro to the story. It's like getting to know the characters and having a little bit of a background of the general story. But the real how things will develop, how the characters are linked together, what is going to happen, we'll all discover in the next chapters.
Excellent. And then, of course, the title, Reader of the Runes, Divination, plays right into, I'm assuming, the concept then.
Yeah, absolutely. The Reader of the Runes is basically the main character of this story. It's like a mysterious figure that, all the story is centered on him and on his kind of, appearing in this village out of time in like a dark fantasy world, where he appears and he just starts to make divinations to other villagers inside his huts, and there are 8 characters that are the main protagonists of the whole event, and there are 8 songs in the album that are basically the divinations, the visions that the Reader of the Runes has for each of these characters. So basically, this is the point of this first part of the story.
Now, was the whole concept with the characters and everything, is this something you've been working on for a while? Is this a relatively new idea?
Well, actually, it's a relatively new idea because, when we were starting to write the songs for this new album, we just sat down, me and Aidan, the guitar player, we are main songwriters in the band. We just, met one night and, we're starting to discuss about the music, about if we had some ideas about, some songs or whatever. And then we also talked about the lyrical side, the conceptual side of the new songs. And basically, this is something we wanted to do since the beginning, to have a concept album, our full concept album. But I think that we've never had the strong idea that could, carry us and drive us to make something like this. But this time, I think, we came up with with an idea that was at least interesting, and then we developed it, step by step, and we discussed a lot, and then we started to write the songs, also thinking about this story, and everything was, coming up like an avalanche, a little by little, all the music, but also the lyrics and the story.
That's amazing. I mean, obviously you guys must be, you talked about reading Lord of the Rings and everything long before the movies come out. So obviously this band, and particularly you and Aiden, are a couple of very well-read individuals, and stuff like this, to be able to come up with concepts like this, which now you're going to take forward to a trilogy. That's really, really cool. That's very cool. The other thing...
Yeah, we've always been, fans of reading in general. Of course, not only fantasy books, but, we're also very, very, we read a lot. And it is, I think that this is kind of wanting to, in a way, express also this part of us, writing a story that, is more than just one song lyric, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And now you say going forward, this concept is going to be a trilogy of albums?
Yeah, actually, this is the plan.
Wow, that's excellent. The other thing I couldn't get over in prepping for this interview was the amount of material you guys already have out. Your Facebook videos for, the behind the songs videos. You have a video showing how your T-shirts are made. You have the cover art. Show you guys in the studio. You're obviously very much as sort of technology driven as well. I mean, I love the fact I like to read as well, but it appears you also embrace every bit of technology that you can to get this story out, and you're willing to put the time and effort in to put everything out there so your fans can really get to know your stuff. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's very important nowadays, and we just feel that if we can do all that it's in our efforts, to just put out the things that we do and let people know and let our fans have something more than just the music, but just to have a deeper insight on how we do things, on the story of the album and so on. So why not?
I guess the word I was looking for too is it shows your true passion for your craft, along with the attention to detail that you guys do.
Absolutely. I mean, we're very passionate about it, as you may see, but we also feel that it's very important for us to to do everything that we do. That may be writing a song or having the artwork or the costumes that we have on stage or the small videos that we put up online. It's very important for all of this to be very well done and professional, and even if we have to work very hard for this, it's our pleasure. It's very important.
Absolutely. I saw, I can't remember which video it was, somewhere, it was very important for you guys to make like a 90s sounding album, and that's where Dan Sweno came in on the mixing and mastering?
Yeah, exactly.
How did you meet up with him?
Yeah, it's for us. It's the heavy metal of the '90s is probably the main influence for us as a songwriter and as a band. Of course, we've been growing up with the classics, with the hard rock from the '80s, but also the heavy metal bands that were kind of creating the genre back at the day. But probably the main influence for us when we were kids at an age where we were starting our own band was exactly the metal from the first '90s. So it was something that we've searched for a long while, to have this kind of sound also production-wise. Of course, Dan Swano is one of the biggest producers of the '90s, and he's still a great producer. But if you think about the albums that he made, there are tons of bands coming from those years, like Therion or Dissection, Dark Funeral, or name it, and he made at least one album. And we just contacted him. We've seen that lately he has made some Rage albums, Insomnium albums, which were sounding really, really cool. And we just contacted him, and he was in, and he really liked the album, and I think he made a really great job.
Yeah, sounds excellent. Sounds really, really good. You've put out a couple different videos. The one, this is probably my favorite tune, and the video intrigued me as well, was for Silver Seal. Love the melody, love the cadence to your vocal, the melodic, aspect of your vocal. Can you give us a little behind the scenes on Silver Seal? How that one came about? Was it an early song you came up with, or one later for the album, or?
Well, it was actually, I think, one of the first songs we were, working on, and to tell you the truth, we weren't very sure that it, could be a song that we could add on in the album at first, because we felt it was so simple, and usually it's very difficult for us to write simple tunes that that can catch probably people even more when you release them. But it's difficult for us to understand that, because usually we're very okay, that's too simple. Let's make it, let's put another chord here. Let's put another melody that's more complicated there, because it kind of feels like we've how can I say that we've achieved a better thing as songwriters, you know what I mean? But then we just stopped and said, well, man, we have to listen to this, have a spin, and really understand if it's something that's, can work, if it's a song that can work. And then we listened to the pre-productions, and we felt that, this is starting to sound cool, and yet we added all the violins and all the different things when we were recording it, and we finally understood that it was a great song, and I think that there are other songs like this in the album, like Divination or Six Teranis, which are pretty easy songs, but it took us a while to understand that they could fit in the album.
Yeah. The video was excellent as well. It looks like it was shot like in a rock pit or a quarry or something.
Well, actually, it's a very rare place that we have here in Italy, where there is that kind of like a mountain background, but there is sulfur coming out of the ground.
Okay.
A kind of hot air and hot sulfur coming out from the ground. I think it's the only place in Italy that we have in Tuscany that has this kind of natural thing going on, and it was pretty strange, but it was very fascinating, and I think it gives a really cool vibe to the video.
It does, and the question I had that I was thinking as I was watching it is, you're all out there in this, outdoor location. It looks remote and everything. You stand there, you've got the mic stand, the guys have the guitars, you got the violin, but yet you're not in a club, you're not on stage, you don't have an audience in front of you. Do you have trouble? You have to make it look like you're performing still. What sort of frame of mind do you have to put yourself in to act out a performance in such sort of a foreign environment, I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, I understand what you say, but, after all these years, I think that we've been we've been through all the set of minds that we could go through. So it was pretty simple for us to just perform, even if we were in this really, outdoor environment. But I think that it also, the fact that it was so strange and you could feel the smell of sulfur in the air, it was like being, in a kind of a hell.
Yeah.
So in a sort of way. So it was fitting, I think, with our, music and our makeup and so on. But, it wasn't a big deal.
Put on guitars, put a microphone stand in front of you, no matter where it is, you're ready to go, right?
Exactly.
Talking with Damna, lead vocalist of Elvenking. Their new album, Reader of the Runes Divination, is out on AFM Records right now. Your website, of course, is excellent, www.elvenking.net. Wanted to point people there. And there's links to that for all the merch, and you can get the vinyl and the CDs and everything right from there, correct?
Exactly, you can find everything there.
I was reading a little bit on you at the website. I loved that you have such varied musical influences. You range from Kiss to Lady Gaga to Marilyn Manson to Michael Jackson. And I think that's a great thing for fans to know, because so many times you get people that want to pigeonhole themselves into listening to just one particular, type of music. And it's good to get influences from everywhere.
Yeah, I think it may sound a little bit crazy when you read my list of favorite musicians or at least influences, and sometimes fans are like, what the hell are you listening to? I mean, I thought you were a metal guy,
right?
And and it may be a little bit confusing sometimes. So I don't know if it's so cool to point out all the things that I listen to, but I think it's just being sincere, and it's listening to all this kind of music, which is something I do. I think it's mind opening, because of course basically I am a metal fan and I am a metalhead, and this is the kind of music that I love the most. If you look at my CD collection, which is huge, you can find probably 95% metal albums and 5% other stuff.
Yeah.
But I really like to be influenced by different things, and the one thing that I love, being it metal or pop or whatever, is a well-written song, great melodies, and good arrangements. This is something I search all the time. I also listen to a lot of soundtracks, to a lot of classical music. I just don't have any boundaries, or at least, not so many, because there are things that I don't like, of course, but yeah.
Exactly. Going back in time, were you always a vocalist coming up? Did you start singing at an early age, or was it something you fell into at a later age, or?
Well, actually, I was kind of singing when I was a little kid, but I suppose like any other kid. And I remember that when I was, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9, I was doing the impressions of Axl Rose. I remember that. But then I quit, singing, and I started playing guitar in a cover band when I was 15.
Okay.
And I remember that the time we couldn't find a singer, and as many other stories, starts like that, I just said, okay, I will sing until we find a new singer. And of course, we never found a singer, and I quit the guitar, and I started to sing. And that's how it started.
Did you take any vocal lessons at all, or are you all self-taught, or?
Well, at a point, yes, I did, but not a lot, because I've always been very very sure of the fact that certain things should come naturally, and maybe when I was younger, I could have took some more lessons just to quicken a little bit the process of being a more confident singer. Mm-hmm. But then eventually I did it myself. I just had some lessons to learn the basics, but then I just learned it on my skin, with a lot of experience, a lot of shows. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I think it's something like 7 or 8 years I really am confident with my voice, and I'm really happy about it. I know my boundaries, I know that I have some, and it's really good. It's like doing it with your eyes closed, and that's the main thing.
Yeah. Do you have to take a lot of time to prep and warm up, or are you like a Ronnie James Dio who can just sit there and have a conversation, then go out on stage and belt it out?
Well, usually, I have to have some preparation, but I just forget about it, and I do like Ronnie James Dio, except for the fact that after a show, then I'm a little bit tired, let's say. But it's, usually when we have a one-shot show, it's like that, and it's not important. But when we're on tour, then I have to be very, very quiet, very aware of the fact that, the voice is not infinite, and that you really have to take care of it. So yeah, when we're on tour, I'm a little bit more aware of that.
It is an instrument, just like anything else. Yeah.
It is exactly, and and it's something that you cannot fix if it's broken.
Right.
So, you have to be really, to worry a little bit.
Right. You mentioned touring. Any touring plans coming up for Elvenking?
Yeah, well, actually, now in October we're gonna do South American tour. We're gonna go to Mexico and South America, and then we are preparing a couple of tours for 2020. I think that the first one is gonna happen in January. It will be a co-headlining show. We will announce it very soon, in a couple of days, I think.
Nice.
And that will be the first thing that we'll do supporting this album. Then I think that we're gonna schedule another European tour in April, and then let's see. I mean, now we're just starting to see how the album is, how people is reacting, and let's see what happens then.
You've had 3 videos put out, I believe. Any more of those in the can, or is that going to be it for this album?
Well, at the moment, I think it's gonna, we're gonna end it here. But maybe, after the first tour, maybe we can do some, professional shot footage, and then maybe do another video with some live, live shots. We'll see.
That would be excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Damna, I always like to end my interviews with just some fun questions. I'm hoping these are questions that you've never been asked. Sound good?
Cool. Yeah, I love these.
Is there something that you don't know how to do that you've always wanted to learn how?
Drawing.
Drawing?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of art and also of comic books and graphic novels, and I've always been so envious of the great artists which make great drawings. So yeah, but I'm totally crap in drawing. I tried, but nah, no way.
Okay. First car you bought with your own money?
Oh, it was an Opel Corsa.
Nice. Let's see.
And I had a big Destruction sticker on the back, the band, the thrash metal band.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember going and I was, searching for a job, and I just, arrived with my old Corsa with a Destruction sticker there, and people say, you want a job? Yeah. They were, watching out of the window. They saw my car. No, maybe next time, It was a little bit of a bad idea anyway.
Nice. Would you rather have the power to be invisible or to read minds?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think read minds.
Read minds? Okay.
Yeah. Want to control the world. Nah.
All right. Current cell phone ringtone?
I don't know. It's always mute.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't remember it.
Right. Favorite toy growing up as a child?
Oh, the Masters of the Universe action figures.
Okay. Pizza. What do you like for toppings on your pizza?
Ooh, pizza. I'm a maniac. Pizza maniac. Being Italian, yeah, you can imagine. The favorite for me is prosciutto and how do you call that in English? The cheese, the Parmigiano.
Okay. Yep. Parmesan. Yeah. Okay. All right. Last one, and we usually have a pretty good time with this one. And I just want to say up front, I was asking this question long before all the bio movies came out. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actor would you have play you in the movie?
Ooh.
It's your movie, your life. Wow. You could pick anybody.
That's a great question, but I have to think about it a little bit. Let me see. That's difficult, man. Let's say that we're a little bit out of time. Mm-hmm. I would be older, and the actor would still be the age he is right now, and I would choose Gary Oldman.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Damna, I want to thank you very much for taking the time for chatting with me today. Once again, Damna, lead vocalist for Elvenking, the album Reader of the Runes Divination, out now on AFM Records. Go to the band's website and order it up, www.elvenking.net. Follow the links, and that's the way I like to do it. So, and
oh yeah,
I wish you much luck and success and safe travels on all your tours. And hopefully, if you ever get here to the States sometime, we'll see you.
Cool. Thank you so much, Lance. Thanks for the interview.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.